Hi, my name is Nikki Cottom, and I wanted to share my experience with the essential oil blend On Guard. Now, before I really jumped into doTERRA, I was interested in essential oils and how they could help me, willing to try. I'm willing to really dive in. And when I was ready to get an enrollment kit, part of that reason was desperation to get well, because my family and we were young married parents, my husband and we had a newborn and a 1-year-old, and we had been sick for 2 months. It was cold and flu season, and it was a very depressing time for me. Having to care for a newborn and a 1-year-old and be sick all the time for 2 months straight, it felt like an eternity. It did. It felt awful. We just kept passing illness after illness, and one of us would get well, and sometimes me and my husband would both be well, but our children would be sick, and then it would sap all the energy out of us taking care of them, and then we would get sick, and then we couldn't, we felt so incapacitated, as parents. It was a horrible time. And so we decided to get a membership and purchased an enrollment kit. And inside the enrollment kit was a bottle of On Guard. And I was really excited to try this because we had been trying to dig ourselves out of this sickness, passing illness after illness. We were trying to climb out of that for 2 months. And as soon as one of us would get better, another one of us would get sick, and the cycle would go again. So I was excited when I received my On Guard with my enrollment kit. And what I did is I just took a drop of On Guard on my hand, and on my children, I would put just a drop on their feet. So there's a little bit in my hand. I would just roll it in my hands. See it, my hands are wet with On Guard, and I would rub the bottoms of their feet, a little bit on the tops of their feet, and put little socks on so they wouldn't touch their feet and touch their eyes, so that, and I rubbed it in a little bit so that it could soak in. And I did that a couple times a day. And I did that for myself too, just a few drops on my hands and rubbed the bottoms of my feet. I did that 2 or 3 times a day. And I will have to tell you that after about 10 to 14 days, we were completely free of sickness in our home, which was a miracle. It was an absolute miracle, because before that, we had been sick for 2 months straight. Like I said, it was a nasty place to be in for us emotionally and physically. And then to be out of that sickness, it was just like the heavens had parted, and On Guard was there to save the day. So I fell in love with On Guard, needless to say, and I have loved On Guard ever since. Now, the great thing is once we got out of that illness, we got out of that 2-month illness within 2 weeks. And then after that, I would put On Guard on my feet and my children's feet before we went to church, before we went to the grocery store, before we went out and about where there could be other pathogens, because there was still a month or 2 left of winter. So we decided that that's what we were going to do. And we did not get sick that entire rest of the cold and flu season. It was such a miracle. And so I'm so grateful for On Guard. Now, I like On Guard in addition to the way I just described physically, because I love how On Guard makes me feel emotionally. On Guard for me is very protective type of oil. So if I'm feeling unsupported, if I'm feeling attacked emotionally by family members who don't keep boundaries, by friends who sap my energy, by colleagues and other people who just drain me or make me feel less than I am, I love wearing On Guard if I have to be around them, or if I'm feeling eaten alive by my own thoughts even. I love On Guard. because it just makes me feel fortified and protected. And I love it so much. So I love using this On Guard emotionally. And I love that doTERRA has now come out with a roller On Guard that's pre-diluted. So it's not super hot, it's pre-diluted. And so I can actually put this on my throat, my heart, wherever it is I feel like I'm being attacked, my head, if it's my own thoughts, if it's my heart feeling less than I am, if it's my throat feeling like my voice isn't heard or I'm being suffocated, that type of thing. I love using On Guard for all of those things. And I love with this that you can get some veggie caps and you can just put a couple drops in a veggie cap and take it like a pill and get it into my gut to support my digestive system and my immune system internally. So that's how I love using On Guard. I love On Guard so much, and I know you will too. So get On Guard. It's amazing. You'll love it. I love you.